The envelope arrived every month like clockwork. $5,000. Cash. No return address. No note. Just money that kept appearing in Elena's mailbox for 7 years straight. She stared at the latest one, hands trembling. Her daughter Lily was drawing at the kitchen table, humming softly. 7 years old. The same age as the payments. Elena had never told anyone who Lily's father was. She'd signed the papers, taken the money, kept her mouth shut. But today, the envelope was different. Inside, along with the cash, was a single business card. Thick, expensive, embossed with gold lettering. Dante Moretti, CEO, Moretti Industries. And on the back, written in sharp, masculine handwriting, I know. This is a story about secrets that refuse to stay buried, about a man who built walls around his heart, and a woman who sacrificed everything for her daughter's safety. If you want to know how a single night changed 3 lives forever, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment telling us where you're watching from. Every view matters, and this story will keep you hooked until the very end. 7 years ago, Elena Martinez had been a different person. A college student working nights as a cocktail waitress at the Monarch, the most exclusive club in Manhattan. A place where men in $1,000 suits made deals that never appeared on paper. That's where she met him. Dante Moretti walked into the Monarch like he owned it. Because he did. He owned everything. The club, the building, probably half the city block. At 28, he was already a legend. Devastatingly handsome with dark eyes that could freeze or burn depending on his mood. Everyone moved when he entered a room. Everyone feared him. Except Elena hadn't known who he was that first night. "You're Macallan 25, sir," she'd said, setting down his drink. He'd looked up from his phone, and their eyes met. Something shifted in the air between them. Something dangerous. "You're new," he'd said. "Not a question. A statement. 3 weeks. You don't belong here." Again, not. Dante slammed his hand on the desk, and she flinched. He saw it and immediately stepped back, jaw clenched. When he spoke again, his voice was lower. Controlled. "I had every right because she's mine, Elena. My blood. My daughter. And you kept her from me. You paid me to keep her from you." The accusation exploded out of her. "You sent lawyers with contracts. You wanted silence. Well, I gave you 7 years of it. I was protecting her." The words came out like a confession torn from his chest. "I was protecting both of you. Do you have any idea how many people want me dead? How many enemies would love to hurt me by hurting what I care about? So you chose to care about nothing instead?" Tears burned her eyes, but she refused to let them fall. "You chose to be a ghost? To be nothing more than an envelope full of cash." Dante turned away, gripping the edge of his desk. His shoulders were rigid, every muscle tense. "I chose to keep you alive. Both of you. And it worked. You've been safe. She's been safe. Until now. What changed, Dante? Why am I here?" He turned back to face her, and what she saw in his eyes made her breath catch. Fear. Real, genuine fear. "I'm dying." The words hung in the air like smoke after gunfire. "What?" "Pancreatic cancer. Stage 3. I have maybe 18 months. Probably less." He said it matter-of-factly, like discussing a business transaction. But his hands, she noticed, were clenched into fists. "I've already started treatment, but the doctors aren't optimistic." "Elena, honey, come here for a second." Lily bounded over, all energy and sunshine. "Can I go on the slide next?" "In a minute. First, I want you to meet someone." Elena took her daughter's hand and led her toward Dante. As they approached, Elena saw the moment Dante's eyes locked on to Lily. saw his entire world realign. Saw him see, for the first time, the child who was half him and half Elena. The child who represented everything good he'd ever created in a life full of violence. Lily, this is Dante. He's an old friend of Mommy's. Dante knelt down slowly, bringing himself to Lily's eye level. His hands were shaking. Elena had never seen his hands shake. "Hello, Lily," he said, and his voice was thick with emotion. Lily tilted her head, studying him with those dark eyes, his eyes. "Hi. Why are you crying?" Dante laughed, a wet, broken sound. He quickly wiped at his eyes. "Sometimes grown-ups cry when they're happy, and meeting you makes me very happy." "Why?" Lily asked with the blunt curiosity of childhood. "Because you're important to your mom, and your mom is important to me. So that makes you important too." Lily seemed to accept this logic. "Do you like drawing?" "I like drawing. I don't know much about drawing, but I'd love for you to teach me." "Really?" Lily's face lit up. "Nobody ever wants to learn. They just say my drawings are pretty, but they don't actually want to try." Dante pulled out his phone and opened a notes app. "What if I draw something and you tell me if it's any good?" For the next 20 minutes, Elena watched Dante and Lily sit on a park bench, Dante attempting to draw, badly, on his phone while Lily giggled and offered corrections. He was patient, gentle, completely focused on her in a way that made Elena's chest ache. This was the father Lily could have had all along, the man hiding beneath the monster. "Mommy, Dante says he knows where the best hot chocolate in the city is. Can we go?" Lily's eyes were pleading. Elena looked at Dante, who mouthed, "Please." "Okay. But just for a little while." They ended up at a small cafe 3 blocks away. Lily chattered non-stop about school, her drawings, the puppy she wanted, her best friend Sarah who was moving away. Dante listened to every word like she was revealing the secrets of the universe. Elena watched them together and felt something fundamental shift inside her. She'd convinced herself that Lily was better off without knowing her father. That the money was enough. That a child needed protection more than they needed a parent who lived in danger. But watching Lily's face light up every time Dante asked her a question, watching her daughter soak up his attention like she'd been starving for it, Elena realized she might have been wrong. "Your hot chocolate, miss," Dante said, sliding the cup toward Lily with exaggerated ceremony. "The finest in all of New York City." Lily took a sip and made an exaggerated face of delight. "It's perfect. Just like you," Dante said softly. Something in his tone made Lily pause. She looked at him carefully. "Are you sick? You look tired." Elena's breath caught. Dante's eyes met hers across the table, and she saw the question there. "Do I tell her?" Elena gave the smallest shake of her head. "Not yet. Not today." "I haven't been sleeping well," Dante said, which was true enough. "But being here with you is making me feel better already. My mommy says sleep is important. You should sleep more. Your mommy is very wise." "She cries sometimes at night," Lily said matter-of-factly, "when she thinks I'm sleeping. I think she's sad because she doesn't have grown-up friends. That's why I'm glad you're here. Now she has a friend again." Elena's eyes filled with tears. She'd thought she'd been so careful, so quiet. Dante's jaw clenched. His eyes found Elena's again, and the regret there was bottomless. "I'm sorry I wasn't around before. But I'm here now. And I'd like to be your mom's friend again. If that's okay with you." "It's okay with me." Lily grinned. "Can you come to my art show? It's in 2 weeks. I have 3 drawings in it and Mommy says they're really good, but I think she's just being nice because she's my mom. I would be honored to come to your art show." Dante's voice was reverent. "I'll be there. I promise." "You have to promise. That's different from regular promises." "What's the difference?" "Regular promises people break sometimes. Promises never get broken." Dante held out his pinky finger. Promise. "I'll be there." Lily linked her pinky with his, sealing the pact. Then she yawned hugely. "I'm tired. Can we go home?" "Of course, sweetheart." Elena stood, gathering their things. Dante walked them to Elena's car, parked 2 blocks away. As Elena buckled Lily into her car seat, the little girl was already falling asleep. "Thank you," Dante said quietly once Elena closed the door. "For today. For letting me." His voice broke. "Thank you. She likes you. I like her. More than I thought possible." He looked toward the car where Lily was dozing. You came. You promised, and you came. I always keep my promises to you." Dante knelt down, and Lily threw her arms around his neck without hesitation. Elena watched Dante's eyes close, watched him breathe in the scent of his daughter's hair, watched him memorize this moment. When he opened his eyes, they were wet. "Your drawings are incredible," he said, pulling back to look at Lily. "Especially this one." He gestured to the family portrait. "This one's my favorite." "Really? It's not weird?" "Not weird at all." Dante's voice was thick. "It's beautiful. You're very talented." "Mrs. Martinez." Lily's teacher appeared. "We're about to start the presentation. All students need to go to the stage." Lily scampered off, leaving Elena and Dante standing together in front of the drawing that revealed more than Elena had been ready to acknowledge. "She drew us as a family," Elena said quietly. "She did." Dante stared at the picture with an intensity that made Elena's heart race. "Maybe she sees something we're afraid to admit." "Dante." "I'm not asking for anything, Elena. I'm not pushing. But I want you to know." He turned to face her fully. "These past 2 weeks, knowing she exists, really knowing her, not just watching from a distance, it's been the best 2 weeks of my life. Even with the chemo making me sick. Even with the cancer eating away at me. She makes everything worth it. The treatment. How is it really? Brutal. But I'm still here. Still fighting." His hand found hers, fingers intertwining. "I told you I'd fight like hell. I meant it." The presentation started. Children took turns talking about their artwork. When Lily's turn came, she spoke clearly and confidently about her 3 pieces. But when she got to the family drawing, she paused. "This one is called My Family Maybe Someday," Lily said into the microphone. "It's my mom and me and someone who's becoming important to us. Someone who makes my mom smile again. Someone who—" She looked directly at where Elena and Dante stood. "Someone who I hope gets to stay." The gymnasium was silent. Elena felt every eye turn toward them, felt the weight of Lily's hope pressing down on her chest. Dante squeezed her hand. "She knows," he whispered. "Not everything, but she knows something." After the presentation, as other parents mingled and children ran around hyped up on juice boxes, Dante pulled Elena aside. "We need to talk. Really talk. About what happens next." "What do you mean?" "I mean Lily's too smart not to have figured out that I'm more than just your friend. Saw the man who'd kept them safe from the shadows for 7 years. The man who was fighting a losing battle with cancer but showed up anyway. The man who'd loved them in the only way he'd known how, even if it was flawed and from a distance. The man she'd never stopped loving either." "Yes," Elena said through tears. "He can stay." Lily cheered and threw her arms around both of them, pulling them into a messy 3-way hug. and for the first time in 7 years, they were a family. Imperfect, complicated, running on borrowed time, but real, finally real. The weeks that followed were strange and beautiful. Dante moved some of his things into Elena's small apartment, though he kept his penthouse and his security operations separate. He was careful, always careful, about bringing his world into theirs. But he was there, present in ways Elena had never imagined. He made pancakes on Sunday mornings while Lily chattered about school. He attended parent-teacher conferences and awkwardly navigated small talk with suburban parents who had no idea they were talking to the most feared man in the city. He sat through countless drawings and tea parties and movies, soaking up every moment with the desperate intensity of a dying man. The cancer progressed. The treatments made him sick. Some days he could barely get out of bed. But he fought. God, he fought. And slowly, carefully, Elena let her walls come down. It started with small things. Sitting closer on the couch. Hands brushing during dinner. Looks that lasted too long. The chemistry that had never died flickering back to life. One night, after Lily was asleep and Dante was having a rare good day, they sat on the balcony of her apartment sharing a bottle of wine. "I never thanked you," Dante said quietly. "For what?" "For giving me this. These months with her. With you. I don't deserve it, but thank you. You're her father. She has a right to know you. I'm more than that, though." He turned to face her. "I'm the man who fell in love with you 7 years ago and was too much of a coward to choose you over his fear. Dante, let me say this, please." He took her hand. "I told myself I was protecting you by staying away, and maybe I was, but I was also protecting myself. From vulnerability. From the terrifying possibility of having something to lose. It was easier to be alone. To be untouchable. And now I have everything to lose and no time left to be a coward." He cupped her face with his free hand. "I love you, Elena. I love the mother you are. The woman you've become. The strength you've shown. I love you, and I'm terrified because loving